Hello, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to episode 20, what, 4, 3? I don't know.
Three, three.
This is a very stupidly fucking boring and chilled out episode. It's great. We talk about absolutely nothing meaningful. I don't think there's anything important on it, but if you enjoy watching it, good luck.
Play it in the
So,
background. Have
yeah.
fun.
Just start. We'll shoot an intro later. Just start it.
Yeah, okay. यार, first of all, how are you doing, man? सच सच बता.
Fine. I'm
सच
going
सच
home
बता.
soon, inshallah. Please, just let me go home. Soon
Okay,
I'm
I
going
want to.
home.
I
Yeah,
also want to go home. Um, I feel sad these days a lot, but
yeah.
I'm in Glasgow, by the way. If there's a change of
If people give a
environment.
shit, if people give
Yes,
a
if
shit,
people give a shit,
Ali's in Glasgow's.
Monotox 3D
Yeah.
gives a shit. सही है, okay? No, Zara gives a shit. Right? We're gonna start calling out people who comment. Also, I feel really awkward because my cousin is in the room, and this is the first time I've recorded a podcast, sort of with other people in the room. Like, and
Yeah. She's no Jamie. What can you say? Yeah.
but honestly, how's your master class wali thing going on? Are you
I
done
haven't
with
done
it?
it in a bit. What? No, I haven't done it in a bit. I started it, but I stopped it. I started like 5, 6, 7 days ago. I don't know, somewhere long last week, but I didn't continue it. I got bored. Not bored of the master class. I just was bored of life.
You know,
Couldn't,
I just realized कि हमने बोला था कि we'll probably do an episode breaking down our conversation with Irfan, right? And we never did it. And I feel like I'm not in the mood for it. वैसे भी
I'll say it.
say it,
Ali,
bro. It's fine.
I don't really give a shit enough to break down that conversation.
हाँ, सही है. I
Okay.
give, I feel like अच्छा, उसमें एक एक बात थी that I'm sort of want to pivot to, क्योंकि मैं तुमसे मास्टर क्लास के भी वजह से पूछा था because you're trying to do more creative writing, right?
Yeah.
And there's this book I read, Abhi, um, a year ago. It's by Austin Kleon. He's a writer and illustrator. उसकी दो books हैं.
Really?
हाँ हाँ.
A book was written by an author. Aye. That's some magic right there. But
Yeah, okay.
chalo.
There are people who write books who
No,
aren't
no, but then they
necessarily
officially become
writers.
authors. No, but then they become writers. They become authors because they did something. They wrote.
Okay, so
Oh, game changer. And
if
all of you
somebody
that everybody has a problem when I mean to Ali. This is a dynamic. If you
नहीं
don't
हाँ
like
हाँ
it, just
हाँ
don't
हाँ
watch
this,
it. Okay.
but okay,
I'm
if
kidding.
if you draw a painting or make a painting, does that
Yeah.
make you an artist?
Yep.
Like just one.
There's a
Novel is,
difference.
I guess novel is a
And do
huge
I
word.
do I do I do I create it and then do I sell the art piece? Then I'm an artist. But what do you mean? What do you describe as an artist then if that's not something? Yeah.
I'm just talking about the act of creation, not
Yeah.
like selling it or
Yeah. So I mean they created, right? They wrote a book, so they are
hmm,
writers. It's
hmm.
pretty much that simple. But chalo anyway, move on. Keep going, keep going.
So ये book, it's called Steal Like an Artist, by Austin Kleon. He's quite popular, like in the creative entrepreneurial space. Writers बहुत ज़्यादा recommend करते हैं because it's a very basic book, and I've read it like 2 years ago, no, a year ago, more than a year ago. लेकिन he has a lot of books, and they're basically made more for uh, creatives, right? क्योंकि तुम अभी master class कर रहे थे, I was like maybe you should read this book because it's like a very quick read. Maybe you can read it in less than a week आराम से. And he has 3 books. एक अभी recently निकली थी. It's called Keep Going. The first one was Still Like an Artist. दूसरी वाली है Show Your Work. Show Your Work मैंने उसके साथ ही पढ़ी है, and maybe we can get into that as well because it's a really good book. उसमें एक idea on creativity, and it's उसके अंदर he basically makes a system for you to help you be creative, right? So can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening to what
Okay.
you're trying to say.
So उसके अंदर एक आइडिया होता है. He says कि basically जो लोग ओरिजिनलिटी
Hmm.
के पीछे भाग रहे होते हैं, right? Even with like this
Yeah.
podcast, we were like कि, let's not try to be something, and let's just figure out आहिस्ता आहिस्ता कि what it becomes, rather than have a very set uh, plan of what it can be, right? It was like,
Hmm.
Acha, Hamza is into philosophy, I'm into art, we are both into this sort of intersection of self-help or motivation or whatever, right? And then
Hmm.
we can create something out of that. So it's make the idea is called, it's basically he calls it the genealogy of ideas,
Hmm.
right? You know what genealogy is, right?
Yeah, but continue explain it so that everybody knows what it
Okay,
is.
so यार genealogy बस genes जैसे बनते हैं ना, the study of genes is called genealogy. So it's like you
Hmm.
link back ideas और वो कहाँ से originate हो रहे हैं, and then you keep on linking it back. So if you can reverse engineer how good ideas are born, let's say, or made,
Hmm. Hmm.
so you realize there's never like true originality is it doesn't really exist, but the sense of uniqueness comes from how things are put together, right? So for example, um can't think of anything right now. So he does this one thing apni book ke andar as well, he talks about it, and he has a TED talk of it as well. I'm not sure if you've seen it. So he does this poetry जिसके बारे में I think तुमने हादी के साथ भी बात की थी. It is वो उसमें cancel out कर रहे होते हैं, right? It's a
Erasure poetry.
हाँ. So he's written a like a book with poetry like that as well.
Okay, so he's done that. Okay, that's good. Chalo. What are you trying to get at? That was a pointless summary.
Yeah,
What was the
okay, so
intention behind
so
saying that?
so I don't know, I feel like I this idea for me was really useful क्योंकि जब मैं यूनी आया था पहली दफा, तो यूनी में आने से पहले this is the book that I read. और A level art के अंदर I would struggle with like I wouldn't say struggle with coming up with an idea, but I would struggle with coming up with an idea that I was confident about. या फिर coming up with an idea to make a process. There's this guy, Chris Do, जिसकी भी 2-3 दिन पहले वो like he has this videos on like creative entrepreneurship and design business के बारे में बात करता है. तो उसमें एक चीज बोलता है that amateurs have a product and creatives have a professionals have a process, right? और फिर आप वो बोलेंगे हैं what does that mean? But basically वो बोलता है कि जो people who eventually become pros in whichever creative career they are in, they know how to reverse engineer their own good work. So then they can keep on following that method for creating that work, right? So this book was something like that for me. Like उससे मुझे समझ आ गया था. So once I was in uni, I followed this book और मैंने अपने blog में भी इसके बारे में लिखा है, I think. And it sort of really helped me sort of come up with the first few key ideas जो अभी भी मैं push कर रहा हूँ अब अपने काम में. But yes, that is all that I had to say. I don't know, man. We don't really have anything to talk about
Anything to
as
talk
such.
about?
We do.
And
I
you know
feel
what we
like
can talk about? You know
see
what we
this
can
is
talk
the
about?
thing.
We can talk about something that's on everybody's mind. This fucking monotony. Oof. This lifestyle. This corona. Sad, tiring, every day being the exact same lifestyle. I'm sure everybody watching this is
Hmm.
equally depressed.
मेरे लिए it's
सब
really
थक गए. तुम्हारे तो
अभी
अभी बदला है ना, तुम तो अभी गए हो कहीं और. अभी
हाँ
तुम थोड़े दिन के लिए फाड़े को. मगर तुम हमसे तो सुनो, जो लोग 100 दिन के लिए एक ही चीज करते हैं एवरी डे. यू
ब्रो
वेक
मेरा
अप.
भी अब ऐसी बात नहीं. आई वाज लाइक अभी अभी
या
मेरे
तो
पे
तुम्हें पता है, फिर तुम्हें सीन पता है क्या है. फकिंग हॉरिबल एंड इट्स
बट उस मोनोटनी में भी आई फील लाइक
no, there's a point. I know what you're going to say. You're going to be like, there's things you can do, there's that processes you can be a part of, there's things you can create, produce, do whatever the fuck you want.
हाँ
That'll be a different, that'll give you a
ओके.
different approach
तुम्हें
every
तुम्हें
day.
उसका पता है व्हाट्स हिज दैट्स गाय नेम um यार जिसकी मैल्कम एक्स से बहुत सिमिलर नैरेटिव है बंदे का जो डेंजल वॉशिंगटन वाज इन अ मूवी एंड ही प्लेड दैट गाय who was a boxer who was convicted for some sort of Like, whoa, I wish I had a Jamie right now. I'm gonna Google it. Give me a
Just
second.
tell your cousin to Google it. Every time you need something, Google.
Yeah,
He'll be
she
like,
left.
yo, Google. Listen.
अब तक वो ओके गूगल इतना अच्छा नहीं हुआ है ना. बट बेसिकली उसके अंदर एक आइडिया होता है. उस मूवी में एक आइडिया इज अबाउट दिस गाय who basically gets convicted to go to jail, सही है, for a crime he hasn't committed, right? And he is in क्या कहते हैं, he is obviously in confinement, and the the way he deals with it is that he decides that the isolation is going to be something that helps him become better. And जो narrative था कि he is somebody at the top of his game and he needs to, what do you say, uh, he's at a loss. तो वो बोलता है कि nobody, I will never be at a loss if I don't say I'm at a loss.
Bro, that's not Nelson Mandela. Sorry, not Nelson Mandela. That's not Denzel Washington in the movie. You crazy? I think I've seen that movie. Wait, give me a second. I'm gonna
I
Jamie
can't find.
myself. I'm gonna
I can't
Jamie
find.
myself. I've seen that movie, bro. Wait. Did we start recording this podcast, Weston?
Yeah, it's recording. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Let me Jamie this shit. Fam.
Jamie is like,
Jamie's Joe Rogan's sidekick. His Google machine. His Jamie, pull that up. One day we will afford a Jamie. No, probably never. But um, boxing movie prison time. Not undisputed. Prayer before dawn.
Hurricane Carter. Robin
No, I don't.
Hurricane Carter is the guy.
That might have been the blog. That might have been the boxer.
Yeah, Ruben. Yes, it's on Ruben Hurricane Carter.
Yeah, I'm just checking a movie. Ruben Carter movie. Okay, it's the Hurricane Denzel Washington.
Yeah, I've heard it's a good
Um,
movie. I haven't seen the entire. मैंने bits and pieces देखे हैं उसके. But उसके अंदर basically उससे किसी point पर जब वो जेल से निकलता है, he still fights his case and he says that he is not at a loss because if he gives in to their idea that he's at a loss, he is also giving in to the idea that he's powerless, right? So it's not about that he's not acknowledging things are different or privilege nahi hai. But when you sort of claim that you're at a loss, या फिर at a disadvantage, you're also claiming that you are, um, or maybe you're signaling to your mind that you are powerless. You know, you're not looking at things you can do with what you have, which is like also like a part of being creative now. Like, for example, you will never have the ideal conditions to write. You know that. तुम लिखते हो. You don't always have the ideal conditions to write, the ideal mindset to write. But sometimes that is all you can do, or all that you should do.
there's such a massive difference in being imprisoned and making the best out of imprisonment and being forced into a very simple,
Oh,
repetitive lifestyle.
listen, I acknowledge that there's a huge difference.
One you
Place
have
of
to.
privilege, one is
Yes,
not.
yes, but more importantly than one being a place of privilege and the other not being is one is by choice and the other is by a government or like a legal system that has fucked you up. Okay, in the case that wasn't like guilty, but if he
But
was,
by
chalo,
choice,
it is what it is.
quarantining भी तो
But
बहुत ज़्यादा तू.
quarantining by choice means everybody can leave. You can be stupid and just go meet people, live your life, go outside, like do whatever you want. You can do it. You can do it. Like you're allowed to do it. You
Hmm.
shouldn't do it, but you can do it. That guy, he can't leave his cell. He can't leave prison. That's called being imprisoned. This is called being stuck. There's a big difference. But also with that, You can apply your self-help thing to it. Yes, you can be, oh my God,
नहीं,
if I'm stuck at
I
home.
agree जो तो वो
Yeah.
difference तो है obviously you can't compare these things but I feel like कि nothing is ever the same ना कोई
Yes,
भी
but that's not what
situation
I'm trying to
जैसे
say. What
for
I'm trying to
example
say,
you quarantining is still going to be different from somebody else quarantining
yes, but
uh,
again,
while
you're
still
not.
in uni as well you know क्योंकि what I'm getting at is that eventually the only tool that I at least resolve to is what can I pull from someone else's experience, regardless of how uh, subjectively good or bad it is from my experience, or even objectively good or bad from my experience, right? Because in the at the end of the day, I have to make sure that this thing is serving me in some sense, right?
Okay, now when you're done with all of the self-help shit, and when you're done trying to, make
Bro,
the best out of
I'm
it,
trying to okay. I'll
okay,
be
yeah,
honest.
yeah.
The reason why I'm on this thing right now I'm going to start reading a book. It's called Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It from Kamal Ravinath. And the reason why I'm on this shit right now is like this whole
Come on, what's his name?
Kamal Ravinath. ये
This
नवाल का
is,
भाई है. Yeah.
Acha, I was like, alter ego coming at you.
हाँ, he is
But
by the way he is like that. But I feel like कि अभी because everybody is like in their own respective way stuck या फिर feeling like they are powerless. तो मेरा it's like what other option do I have to sulk or to do this?
yeah,
And
no,
I
no,
know
I completely agree with you.
I'm
It's
just trying to
always healthier.
find
Yeah, it's always healthier to, like not sulk, do something with your life. But
because
people
it
are sulk.
sounds corny. It sounds
Yeah,
corny in
it's not even
some
about it being corny. It's about it being a grade A pile of bullshit. Okay, let me tell you
yeah.
something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Self-help, motivation, dedication, all of this shit, it works for a lot of people. It does. It works. Obviously, you've seen examples of it working. You have people who write about their experiences and shit. But there's a bunch of people who it doesn't work for. And it's not that those people don't try. It's not that those people don't give a shit about themselves. It's because it just doesn't work. And that's because they have a problem in their head. And when you have a problem in your head and then you're put in quarantine and your problem becomes bigger, you just don't give a shit about self help. You don't care. Okay, no, who
Yeah.
cares?
Okay,
Okay.
so yeah, okay, so finished Goggins, right? Goggins के अंदर वो एक चीज somewhere in the middle of the book he talks about कि uh, he always had a by the way that book has changed me as a person which I never
Mm,
expected. You know there are things you कभी कभार एक आप अच्छी मूवी देखते हो आप बोलते हो यार shit this movie is really changing my perspective. But the way he even ends the book, right? He has
yeah,
a
yeah.
monologue in the end, right? I'm talking about the audiobook. So he has a monologue in the end. That monologue, I feel like, is it's so basic yet so powerful. And I think the reason why it's so powerful is because he is the example of what he's saying, right?
Yes, that's why he's writing about it.
So उसके अंदर वो एक चीज बोलता है कि your thoughts are like repetitive and this is like scientifically proven right कि आपके जो ideas आपके दिमाग में आते हैं thoughts जो आते हैं they're going to be repetitive because they're habitual and you have like what 36,000 yeah
I
6,000
don't know.
there's a huge number of thoughts you have per day and they're pretty much the same so if you don't break that pattern you're hurting yourself
Yeah.
and I feel like for me तो it's from personal experience I can say कि I rely on these things to make sure that my pattern is always leaning towards the positive side.
Okay.
Because if yeah, it's like if you don't obviously it's not everything, your mindset isn't everything, but it's like a very important foundation. So इस वजह से
Okay.
that's why I lean on these things because for me it's very easy to become pessimistic and become sulky. You know me. You know I can get
Hmm.
like that very fast. तो इस वजह से
I see. ठीक है.
sorry boys we're both on low energy today. This is more of a
No
casual.
energy. There's no energy. This I'm not even wearing a watch. It's 5:44. Friday, 26th of June. I want to go home, and I will
Where
go
you're
home soon.
going back to Karachi
Yeah,
in
I should
4 days.
be. I should be back home. I should be on a plane. Please, God, soon. I'm not gonna tell you when because I do believe in like Nazar, and I know that there's some motherfucker who doesn't want it to happen, huh? So I don't like instinctively believe Nazar is a thing, but I also know that there's people in this world who are just assholes. So yeah. So in case any of you assholes are watching this and you're like, Gandu nahi ho, land pe charo. But
But what else, man? What else?
bro, nothing. I've done nothing. I've done nothing this week. Yeah, I haven't done shit in 100 days. Why? Because quarantine. Like I'm doing things like I'm shooting this podcast. I'm writing. I'm taking those master classes whenever I can. I'm reading and I'm doing all this bullshit, but I'm not doing anything. Nothing
But
feels
okay,
like satisfying.
so मैंने last week, last week, I didn't talk about it on the podcast. What I did was I did a 24-hour fast detox, whatever you want to call it. So 24 hours of not eating, drinking any water, consuming anything online, like reading, just being by yourself for 24 hours. It's not healthy. It's like I don't know if I should say it's not healthy, but I feel like it's not for everyone. It's very intense. क्योंकि पहले 18 hours were fine क्योंकि I slept for the first 8 hours, but 10 hours बहुत जल्दी निकल गया. But the last 3 hours were like very stressful. But there was also like a sense of what do you say? Uh, there was a pleasure in knowing I'm pushing through, if that makes sense. लेकिन उससे मैंने एक चीज़ सीखी and that is कि जो हमारा even though like हमारे कल्चर है ना कि uh, you need to work and you need to stay motivated. I feel like उसमें एक narrative होता है जो hustle culture में नहीं आता है and that is rest वाला, right? And being
Yeah.
okay with understanding that progress is never about doing everything all at once,
Okay.
and it is about you know slowly chipping away on something. You know, even with this podcast, right? I think हम दोनों को instinctively पता है कि we will have bad episodes, right?
Yeah.
जैसे कि I feel
This
like
is one of them.
our, our last episode was fun, right? I feel like you know
Which one?
last पिछला वाला ही I feel like उसमें good energy थी.
Acha.
We were
Sahi.
like sort of vibing, all of that stuff.
Okay.
There was
Fine.
we even got good feedback from it, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel like taking a break is a huge part of it, and also understanding that sometimes वो जो magic होता है, uh, creative magic, you know, coming back to sort of the idea of creativity wala, there's a lot of it um, you can't force it. You have to step out of your own way. And I think the only way to step out of your own way is to not take what you're doing very seriously or take yourself very seriously.
Okay.
So like for example, even though you help me do this, you know, for the people who are listening, I'm very like I overthink about everything about even about the podcast. और हमजा बोलता है अली it's just a podcast.
Just
सही
a
है.
fucking podcast,
It's
bro.
just that. But I think there's a part of my brain that is always thinking about how I need to make this worth it. You know, worth my time, worth Hamza's time, worth somebody who's listening and their time. But I feel like the more you try to make something uh, too perfect, you are not allowing for that sense of wonder to walk in to see कि कुछ हो सकता है या नहीं, if that makes sense.
That
Because
makes
for
sense.
me, because for me, I feel like the one thing I can do this with is with drawing and art, but that is only because I've been painting for such a long time now. Okay, I know when to stop. it's like instinctive now, you know, and I know when to not um take myself too seriously. But the one thing that I do know is that it only happens if you put in the reps.
Okay.
जैसे तुम अपने ब्लॉग के साथ भी reps डाल रहे हो, right?
What does that mean?
Just
What do you mean by
repetition.
reps? Like no, but like what do you mean? Like writing things?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. So what about writing things?
basically, it's like वो होता है ना कि if you want to get good at something, you have to
Yeah,
give it reps. But
yeah,
sometimes with creative work, what is good बहुत subjective हो जाता है. It
yeah,
gets subjective really fast. And
yeah, yeah,
sometimes the act of trying to make one product, let's say
yeah,
one episode of a podcast or one video that I'm posting
yeah.
online
Okay,
or one blog post
yeah,
that
yeah.
you're writing, right?
Okay,
You can get so caught up in trying to perfect that itself that you will not be able to move ahead, you know?
okay.
Okay, आई डोंट नो किसके वीडियो में मैंने देखा था मे बी इट वाज़ द केसी नेस्टैट की वीडियो थी एंड उसमें ही इज़ लाइक कोटिंग समवन एल्स एंड इट सेज परफेक्शन इज़ द एनिमी ऑफ गुड इनफ
Okay. Makes
एंड
sense.
and that basically means that sometimes we just have to wrap things up, put them out as
Yeah,
bad as
you
they are.
do. Yeah, you do. You can't
And
always
this
strive to
and,
make everything perfect.
and this is one of those episodes I think. This is going to be Chai Shesh episode 2.
Shesh, it's chai sesh. I've told
Sesh.
you it's sesh. You know,
Yeah,
Ali made
Shesh.
such a no, no, it's not shesh. It's not shesh. It's not even like up to interpretation. It's you being a chutia. That's what the difference is.
ठीक है
Okay,
भाई.
like I'll just like we can ask them for feedback, right? Like, mujhe, haan, most of you people think I'm a gandu, so okay, chilling. But like, listen to this chai sesh bullshit. Okay, Ali uploads a video. उसके थंबनेल पे बड़ा बड़ा येलो डब्बे में लिखा है चाय CHAI, करेक्ट स्पेलिंग, लेट्स गो. फिर सैश लिखा है SHESH. अब मैंने उसको बोला व्हाट द फक इज चाय शैश, राइट? Like what is it? Like it's not sesh because a sesh is supposed to be session, like SESSION. So you replace the SION with the H. That's why it's sesh. Like doing something is becomes a sesh. You can have a water sesh, you can have a smoking sesh, you can have a eating sesh, you can have a working sesh, whatever sesh you want to have, right?
Yeah.
But what the fuck is a shesh? Like how do you even get to shesh? That's what I didn't understand.
I think I just say
There's no way.
Shesh.
There's no. You don't say sash. You say sash. When the
अच्छा
first time you
भाई.
said chai sash, you said chai sash. You just wrote it like sash because you're stupid as fuck sometimes and you make fuck ups and then you're trying to elaborate out of your fuck up when you should just say
नहीं.
I'm sorry and just
हाँ तो
understand that you fucked up.
yeah, I'm saying कि
Okay.
I'm trying to understand why I made that mistake.
Yeah, the try and understand and then explain it to me. I'm waiting.
हाँ, so
It's
I feel like
important.
I say Shesh
We
by
don't. You've never said sash. I've known you for 5 years. You have
Sesh.
never said sash. You've
Sesh.
never said. You try to make it normal, but it's not because you know it doesn't even feel normal to you as you say
Sesh.
it. You know it. You know it
Sesh.
doesn't feel normal to you as you say it
लेकिन मैं
because it's
श-
not. It's not a
लेकिन मैं
bloody word.
भाई लेकिन मैं Sesh use भी बहुत कम करता हूँ ना as a word.
Yeah, but you don't use shash. You use sash, regardless of however less you use it.
I don't know, man. It was just a
I'm telling
mistake.
you, bro. Yeah.
Just a
See,
mistake,
that's
man.
it. People make mistakes. Spelling mistakes are very common. It's chilling, bro. It's okay. No problem.
अच्छा,
No
I
one's
make
gonna
a lot of
hate you on
spelling
it.
mistakes,
Yeah, no
man.
one's gonna hate you on it. It's when you like pointlessly try and explain your way out of a fuck up. That's what the
Okay, I'm
problem
not
is.
okay.
Yeah,
If
I mean,
you
right now you
understand, I'm
just said,
not
oh,
trying
man,
to explain it. I'm trying to
okay.
understand it for myself. कि
Yeah,
why
see,
I
so all you
should have
should just
made that mistake.
understand is that people make mistakes sometimes. Maybe you were just tired when you were making the thumbnail at 3 a.m. in the morning or some shit, right as you were trying
Yeah,
to upload something. So you put in shesh. Why? Because maybe you were just trying to spell it real quick. There's an SH at the end. Maybe you just put an H over in the beginning. There's a lot of reasons you could have messed it up, but it doesn't matter. You messed up. It's fine. Just move on, bro. Yeah. I'm gonna cut my hair. My hair's gotten very long. It's wild at this point.
man, having a buzz cut is
I've
it's
had
worth
it.
it, man. Once in a while, it's
Nah, I've had it. I had it last year, same time. Shaved my head, April 2019. That was the time. I had a shaved head and I had nail polish. Black nail polish and a shaved head. Can you believe it? It was weird.
It's all right.
It was
Mom,
pretty weird.
it's just a phase.
No, no, like the shaved head thing was a phase. I don't have nails anymore to put nail polish on. You can see them. Really tiny.
Tension. ये unhealthy habit है ये.
This is a very unhealthy habit. It's literally a very unhealthy habit, but it's okay. Because what can I do? What do you want me to do? Nothing. That's the thing. It's Corona. This is the most unhealthy habit I have, then that's great.
Bro,
Bite
मुझे
your nails as
इतनी
much as you want.
इतनी motion sickness हुई थी, so I came here to Glasgow by train, right?
Okay.
और this is me sitting in a bus in a regular train and a जो इनकी intercity or whatever train you
Yeah,
call it,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
okay.
तो मैं 4 महीने बाद किसी भी moving vehicle में बैठा,
सही
right?
है.
और मेरी हालत खराब, इतनी motion sickness, and I was like feeling it for 7 straight hours. Just horrible.
Yeah, that's
Then my
fucking
body,
horrible, bro.
और तुम्हें ये feel हो गया अभी हमजा, तुम अभी बाहर निकलो ना.
Now I've driven, I've been in cars, I've gone on stuff, even in quarantine. I was in a car like 3 days ago, 2 days ago, yesterday.
चलो okay.
No, today. Yeah, I was in a cab today. What do you mean, Ali? I have to go outside of campus. I have to do things. You can't party, but you have to pick some things up so that you can
Yeah,
chill.
I guess मेरे लिए it was easy because मेरी I would just walk everywhere.
Yeah, so like the store isn't in walking distance. I'm not gonna walk 3 kilometers downhill and then three back uphill in this heat. Fuck that. Just take a
Stop.
cab.
Show no weakness. Stop your
Show no
fucking
weakness.
weaknesses. Stay hard.
No, shut the fuck up. There's being hard and there's being stupid. Like, why the fuck would I walk in the heat pointlessly? It's not like I can't afford a cab. It's not like
Hmm.
it's not the smarter option to do. You want me to bring ice cream and butter back walking in the heat? There's something called staying hard and being a dumbass. Okay, don't make David going out to be a dumbass. Okay, if your food is going to melt, you should probably not like walk with it in the heat for half an
Hmm.
hour. अब बोलेगा
Bro,
बोलेगा भाग
bro,
लेते हैं जल्दी से 2 मिनट में हाँ सही बात है.
bro, I'm thinking we should what do you say? Reach out to Kamal,
Who's
right?
Kamal?
अबे रविनाथ यार.
Ah,
Right? Read the book
okay.
first. It's a very short book. मेरी खत्म होने वाली है. मैं
Okay,
actually asked
I
him
will
to.
read it.
I can send you the PDF if you want.
Yeah, just send it.
And maybe we can reach out to him. He's probably going to say yes, by the way. I feel like he's one of
Yeah.
those dudes who's
I'd
like,
just love to ask him, why do you give a shit?
about your own life.
No, just about anything. Why do you give a shit inherently? It's a very existential
उसकी story is
question.
very interesting, but I don't want to talk about it.
It's
वरना
not about it's not about being a story, bro. It's like, why do you really give a fuck, bro, regardless of your story? But chalo,
yeah, I feel
I'll
like
ask him later.
कि, कि in giving a shit is a method of survival. If you don't give a shit, you can't
Yeah,
survive.
you just die. Survival means that there's a reason for you to survive. Otherwise, why are you surviving? So, what do you give a shit about so much that you want to survive for it?
Sorry, boys. Today is just a very slow episode, especially for the
Shit, that's
ones
depressing.
who are just like listening to us on the audio platforms, Spotify and all of that stuff.
Bro, even my face is literally boring right now. What do you mean? I haven't shaved, I haven't cut my hair, I look like a mess, but it's okay because it's me, so it's
Acha,
fine.
maybe we should ask for feedback. Like, is an episode like this fine? Because I feel like sometimes for
Okay,
us,
okay, okay. Let me. If you hate this episode and never want something like this again, drop a like. If you, if you,
you
if you
know,
like it, like and comment. But comment that you liked it. Okay, but if you disliked it, like it but don't comment. And if you really hated it and you don't want anything else, share it on Facebook and just say fuck these people. But share it on Facebook. Great. Ali ho gaya na kaam. Khatam feedback aa gayi. Bas.
but I
Also,
feel
you
like,
can just give us things to talk about. Like, that guy asked us about that philosophy thing and that art thing that happened. It would be nice to have a reason to do this.
I
Ask us
have,
something.
I feel like I want to reach out to a few people, because
Yeah.
this is always a nice.
Monotox 3D. I think that was a Nazi sign, but my bad.
But like, I feel like abhi there's a pattern I noticed. We do like 10 to 15 episodes by ourselves and then have a bunch of people and then do 10 to 15 episode.
Yeah, we should probably have people on it
That's a
now.
right.
Yeah, let's
Who
go.
should
Let
we
me go
have
back
on?
home. Let
You
me go back home, and then we'll decide. And if you
yeah.
comment down below, you want to have on. But if you're commenting who you want to have on, and and if you don't want to like talk about whether you like this episode or not, just don't like it. Just comment who we should have on. I'll figure all of this out. High feedback episode coming soon. It's a bunch of 150 dislikes for what? Because you sorry, 150 likes because you all dislike this.
Hmm.
Winning. See this that way you get to tell me you disliked it, and I don't have to like suffer the consequences of you disliking my YouTube video. It's great. It's a win-win situation. Is negative feedback on YouTube like does it kill your channel?
Negative feedback in what sense?
Like dislikes?
I don't think so.
For sure.
Yeah, basically, okay.
And what's the point of having a
I'll, I'll,
dislike
I'll,
option? Just to shit on the fucking guy who made it. Like, oh wow,
I'll
thanks.
tell you, क्या scene है. YouTube as a platform, अगर तुम देखो ना, any social media platform, there's one core thing that they care about.
Yeah.
They want everybody to be on their platform for as long as possible,
Okay.
right? How that happens varies from person to person in terms
Let me
of
tell you
the
how let me tell
consumer.
you how let me tell you what my most consumed YouTube is. None of you will expect this. None of you. There's a YouTube channel, shout out Zoe. Zoe. That's it. It's Korean. Okay. There's this woman and all she does is pack desserts and cakes and make coffees and gives them to people. Like just sells them. Like she just works at a cafe. That's her job. And it's all in Korean, except there's like subtitles. And I just watch it every night for 6 to 7 hours non-stop until I fall asleep.
Oh, हाँ bro, मेरा I feel like the channel
It's great.
website
Everybody go like her channel because you know what? Why not? It's not like she needs the subs. She did really well for herself. That's a weird thing to like
कितने होंगे? It's
work
probably
out for.
getting millions of views, right?
No, she has a million subs. She gets like several million of video. It's easy peasy.
हाँ हाँ. There is this
Yeah, yeah,
channel I watch. It's called Advanced Cleanings.
yeah.
Systems. मैं तुमसे share किया.
Yeah.
It's
Advanced
just this
cleaning
guy,
research.
Miles है उसका नाम, somewhere in the US, and it's a video. He just cleans places and carpets for people, but it's so satisfying.
It's so good.
It's so satisfying क्योंकि वो बिफोर एंड आफ्टर दिखाते हैं. there's a huge difference. और फिर एंड के अंदर वो पानी जो कलेक्ट होता है उनमें से, ड्रग्स में से, whatever से, या फिर उन चीजों में से वो ड्रेन करके दिखाता है. And it's like usually like disgusting water. You're like, oh, the carpet is clean. This was so satisfying. But I don't know why I want to watch it. But it
I
just
don't know though. But like same thing with Zoe, right? Like she takes a cake, she cuts into slices. Anyone can cut a cake into slices. Why is it very satisfying? Because of the way she does it with happiness. She's happy as like we're doing it. She's satisfied completely as she's doing it. She
yeah.
doesn't want more. She doesn't need more. She has a nice YouTube channel that I don't even think she gives a shit about. Like she gives a shit about her followers, but like not like about having the YouTube page. She makes the videos because they're fun for her to make. She cuts cake. She puts it on a plate. She makes the most amazing parfaits. She just oof. ना अच्छा खाना
There
इतनी
is this
अच्छी आइसक्रीम
genuine intrinsic joy in what they are doing.
in watching. Yes, there is genuine happiness I get from watching them being happy and doing the most mundane shit known to man.
Also
It's
doing
great.
it well, doing it
Yeah, yeah.
with
Oh yeah.
precision,
But
right?
then they do it well because they love doing it because it's just enough for them, which is great. Just want something mundane to be enough for me. Become a fucking carpenter. Ooh, sometimes I want to just become a woodworker, like drop out of uni and just make tables. That would be really weird.
Okay, that's
But like, let's
inshallah.
see.
Next year, I'm going to learn how to work with wood.
On that note, we're going to end this podcast.
How
Okay.
okay? Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
end this
yeah.
up. You know,
Yeah, let's end
honestly,
it on Ali needing to learn how to.
yeah,
What was it? Work with wood next year. Great. Ali will learn
yeah,
to work with his wood. Okay.
work with
Thank
his
you.
sounds really wrong.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Sorry, it's a boring episode. Probably won't even be here to shoot this intro, so let's be Ali. Let's see. Okay, bye.